Hello. So, you are seeing an awful lot of me this week. If you don't know, we are in the midst of our campaign to bring more meditation instructors to the world because, boy, do we need it. So, we are going live in our Facebook group, that's our private community for people that are interested in deepening their own meditation practice, and also, especially at the moment, the past 2 weeks we've been focusing on people that want to bring a business into their love or the other way around. So their love of meditation is being merged with their need to create a business or their desire to create a business. So they're becoming meditation instructors, and we've had an amazing couple of weeks seeing people really step out of their comfort zones and really claim the big visions, desires, and dreams that we sometimes deny, that we forget about because we're so busy, or that we think are just too big for us. So, this live, whether you are going to join me live or whether you are watching on the replay, is all about how it's really normal and natural to get scared sometimes. But also, we're going to talk about how to understand where those fears are coming from, and also look at ways to work with them and use them to your advantage, sit alongside them. If you know anything about meditation, one of the biggest meditation messages, or a message that meditation sends out into the world, is that it's okay to be human. It's okay to feel emotion, but those emotions don't have to define our behaviour. They don't have to restrict us in our lives. So that's what this live is going to be about. So if that interests you, stay tuned. I'm also going to be addressing some of the really common restrictions that people feel when they're about to book their place with a meditation training provider. I've absolutely been there many times, all different courses that I've done, the coaching that I've done, all of that stuff. There's always this element of fear. So we're going to talk through the biggest things that people are telling me, the biggest resistance points that people are telling me are coming up for them in the conversations that I'm having within our group, but also through email, messenger, etc. And it's really quite relevant, this message, regardless. So if you do jump on at any point, please do. And I know loads of people watch this on the replay. I can see that you're watching. That's absolutely fine. So please do let me know that you have watched by using the hashtag replay. And when you jump on, let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if any of this resonates with a love heart, a thumbs up, whatever works for you. What I did want to start off by saying is that I've been joined by such a beautiful bunch of people this week, and also I've been joined by a lot of my current, or our current Exhale instructors, and that's just testament to how passionate they are about building their own businesses, but also about bringing meditation to the to the wider world. So if you're watching as an instructor, thank you so much for supporting this campaign, because we know that it does so much good in the world. So I'm really, really happy and thankful that you've joined us. And it is testament to the love that you have for my baby, for Exhale, for our brand. So thank you so much. So quite often in life, we end up in this fear-based cycle where we see something that quite excites us. We get this gut feeling that we need to take this certain step. So that might be working with a coach, or it might be booking training, or it might even be moving house, moving job, changing career, having a baby, whatever it is. Get excited about it. You get this gut feeling that this is absolutely in alignment with what I stand for, this company that I want to work with, the training that I want to do, the whatever it is, the values of that entity, of that company, of that training provider, really align with who you are. And you kind of almost feel called to it. So you get really excited, start thinking about it, thinking if it connects with your steps, the next steps to achieving your dreams. There's part of you that knows and believes that the universe leads us in the direction we're meant to travel on, that we have these opportunities that are gifted to us, but we've got to take the responsibility of actually taking the action and taking the steps that the universe places in front of us. We believe that, and then somehow we're sat there about to press the order button, the book now button, the leave job button, handing in your resignation, whatever it is, and you're hovering over there, and then you think to yourself, well, I'll just check with so and so. I'll go and talk to my partner about it, which is absolutely valid and absolutely fair enough. I might go and talk to my mum about it, my friends, my family about it. And before you know it, you're overwhelmed with all these different opinions. Your internal dialogue, that gut feeling, that feeling brain that's in the stomach and in the heart space, that always knows way before the thinking part of the brain what's going on, what's right and true for you. All of that gets drowned out by this noise of what is expected of us and all of this fear that exists within our society, where we are about going slightly against the grain, slightly out of what is normal for most people. And so you get to this point where you coming up with all these buts. What if this happens? What if that happens? You're overthinking it and you put it off. Oh, I'll not do it now. I know that feels really good to me. I know that feels really exciting to me. I'm just going to put that off. I'm just going to put that down until the pain of being stuck where you are, the struggle, the frustration, the heaviness of being back in that same place where you don't feel quite like you're living in your purpose, that you're quite in alignment, that you are quite fulfilling your full potential. You end up back in that place. And then when that, the pain of that, the heaviness of that, the frustration of that, the lethargy of that, for me, it manifests itself in feeling really tired. You're back in that space, and then you might revisit again, and then that cycle begins. Again, you're disconnected from your power. So this is really, really normal. This fear cycle exists in each and every one of us. The way to overcome this is to understand why that happens. We are a beautiful, powerful mix of divinity and human. But when we look at other people that are living their dreams, or other people that have taken the steps that we really want to, but we're a little bit scared of taking, there's part of us that feels like it's all right for them. They did it because it's almost like they have this some sort of superpower that we don't possess within us. When actually, all of us are equally divine and equally human, and it's the human part of us which puts us in this cycle of pain, leading to excitement, there's hope, there's a way that I can move away from this struggle, this internal struggle, this frustration, this feeling that something is not quite right, or that I'm missing out on something, that I'm behind, that I should be doing more of myself. These big dreams and visions that come to us, we get excited that there's hope, that we can maybe change, we can move forward, we can start that big business, and then we get trapped back in that fear again. So it's absolutely human, absolutely normal. And what is important to say is I actually think it's quite beautiful and it's quite amazing, really, because the brain is designed to keep us safe. So it sees anything which is slightly out of the realms of normal for yourself or for your peers. That's why your peer group is so important. Whatever they're doing, you're likely to align with them. So anything that feels slightly different to the norm, slightly different to what your friends and your family are doing, or slightly different to something that you've done before, or generally anything that involves an investment in ourselves, the brain wants to turn us away from that. The brain's job is to search for all these worst case scenarios to keep us safe. That's our security mechanism that's inbuilt in us. That's our humanness. And it is amazing because it does absolutely keep us safe. But what is really annoying and frustrating is that the brain can't distinguish between a real threat, as in getting run over by a car. Like, we need to be able to look for all the cars. We need to be on our full alert when we are crossing a road, for example. But the brain can't distinguish that type of real risk to human life and risk to ourselves emotionally in terms of things that we are doing on a daily basis. So I think something like this fixed my car, got a dent in my car, so I might have to jump off and come back. Stay with me just in case. So the brain's job is basically to keep us safe. And it can't decide, it can't tell the difference between that's a real risk to human life and just something that feels a little bit out of the norm. It's not our habitual behaviour, anything like that. That's why it's so difficult to form a new habit, because the brain will literally tell you, it'll pull you in all these different directions to keep you from actually taking that step that feels a little bit out of the norm for you and your body. What's really interesting at the moment as well is that we're on high alert because our backdrop, our sense of security and safety has been taken away from us because we're living against the backdrop of a pandemic. People are really poorly, people are sort of at risk all the time. Our health, our livelihoods, our well-being, our emotional, like our physical and emotional well-being is all kind of at risk at the moment. So we're living in this fight or flight state, which actually makes us more risk averse than we ever were before. So what can we do about that? First of all, it's just the understanding of how our brain works and appreciation for the fact that actually this is a really human part of me that actually does, it has a big point. It has a service for me. It does keep me safe day to day. But what the other thing to really understand is that your physiology, your state of consciousness, what you focus on can influence. So those three things, your physiology, what you focus on, and your emotional state, your consciousness can contribute to how active that part of the brain is. And what is such a shame is that when we don't address those three things, we miss out on opportunities that are gifted to us, the opportunities to really take action towards our dreams, our humanness, and the fact that we don't understand how our bodies work holds us back from that. Because fear ultimately isn't even real. Fear is just the beliefs that we hold deep within us, maybe in our subconscious, about a set of circumstances. And it's fear is false evidence appearing real. That's a quote from A Course in Miracles, and it's so true, because for every horror story that I hear, for every negative story that I hear, there are 1,000 other success stories. But it's where we choose to focus our attention, what our beliefs about our capabilities are. So I know that Tony Robbins talks a lot about it's not our capability that defines our level of success. It's who we believe ourselves to be. And that is so important. And it leads me on to my next point, and the next biggest fear about taking action towards your dreams. So whether that be, like I say, starting a new job, starting a new relationship, starting to teach meditation, for example, we feel like we haven't got enough experience. It's almost like we are waiting to be chosen or waiting to be anointed from above. It's almost as if we feel like these people that are successful at what we want to do, those people that are living our big dreams and our visions, it's almost like somebody's come down from above and said, you are the chosen one. Whereas actually, that's not the truth at all. If you look at anybody who is successful in life or in business, somebody who is following their dreams and moving forward, all they've done is choose themselves. You get to choose you. There is nothing more excruciating than waiting to be chosen. Remember when you were at school and you might have been waiting to get picked for a netball match, for example, or for, I don't know, to be on someone's team in a science project, and you're waiting and it's absolutely excruciating. It feels heavy, it feels awful, it feels terrifying. That's because we know on some deep soul level that we are perfect, that we are whole, that we don't need to be chosen, that we need to choose ourselves. Anybody that has made any big impact in this world, all they've done is they've chosen themselves. To give you an example, one of my idols is Gabby Bernstein. I posted in our group this morning about her amazing book, The Universe Has Your Back. If you do struggle with fear and you do feel like it's holding you back from taking the steps in your life that you want to take, Gabby's book, The Universe Has Got Your Back, is absolute. It's super duper powerful, and it would be an amazing place to start. The reason why I bring her up is that she's been featured working with Oprah. She's done big Hay House events. She sells out everything she does. She has these book launches. She's an incredibly successful entrepreneur, essentially. Obviously, her mastery is in her spirituality, her spiritual teaching. And we put her on this pedestal, but actually her teaching comes from her own healing. She doesn't position herself as a guru. She's normal. She's just like us. She's had her own journey. What she does is she draws on her own experience and all her own healing journey, knowing that if she herself is on this healing journey and it's unfolding, she's really honest about how she's still on that path. She's not fully healed. We're never going to be fully healed and enlightened unless we are one of them, the guru ascended masters. We're on this journey, and she chooses to just believe that her own experience was gifted to her so that she could then become the guidebook for somebody else's struggle. So everything that she went through, the ways that she used her spirituality to heal herself, that is all she teaches. And yes, then those, as she developed and as she moved forward, as she grew in confidence, she came across other teachers and learnt more and deepened her understanding and learnt more and shared more. And it's just about us knowing that we don't have to be perfect when we start. We don't have to be the guru with all the answers. There is nobody that is going to come along to you and say, now you are ready. We've had a conversation with one of our instructors this morning about her big vision for her Exhale business. It was really quite exciting. And one of the things that we spoke about was that she felt a little bit intimidated to even speak about her dreams, because who is she to have this big vision? And we were talking about the same thing. All at one point, my business was just an idea that I just decided one day, I've had enough of ignoring the call. I've had enough of not feeling fulfilled. I've had enough of being restricted and held back by my humanness and by my brain, my anxiety brain, if you like. Yes, you've got to be sensible with any kind of money exchange, any kind of energy exchange, actually. But what it comes down to is you choosing you choosing your vision, you understanding that your visions of your big dreams and your desires are gifted to you for a wider purpose, for a deeper purpose. Your desires speak to you on that deep soul level and let you know that actually that is how you're going to make a difference in the world. And it's the people that listen to those desires that go on to, yes, live a really fulfilled and happy life themselves, but also they're the ones that really go on to serve other people as well. Remember that the universe, in terms of directly linking this to meditation and becoming a meditation instructor, the universe will only give you opportunities that you are ready for. So I know that there's several people in our, and I say several, there's probably way more than I know about, that are in our Facebook group that say to me, or that are current instructors as well, that say to me, I had this little idea, this little seed of a thought of what I could do, and then suddenly your training course appeared on my newsfeed. That is why I talk about a lot. It's following that divine breadcrumbs, following that, these little bits of the universe throws you a rope. Once you've set that intention, the universe sends out all the things that are going to help support you bring that vision to fruition. As long as you keep your eyes on the prize, but also there's more to it than that, in that we need to surrender to the outcome and all those other things you'll have heard manifestation teachers talk about. But ultimately, a lot of people give up on these dreams. They get thrown the rope and they don't take it because of our humanness, because of the veil that exists between myself as a human being, and my infinite potential, my infinite truth. The, every decision that you make, you can either choose to believe in fear or you can choose to believe in love. And by that, I mean love for the self, love of service, acceptance of your divinity, but also acceptance of your humanness. So just know that if you are finding yourself in a position where you are seeing all of the divine breadcrumbs, you're seeing the signs, things are showing up for you at exactly the right moment, you have the opportunity now to move forward with that. But nobody is going to come along and say, now is your time, because life just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. And I spoke about not having to be a finished product. The other thing that I just want to touch on quickly, because I know I spoke about this before, is that in fact, in terms of our brand, in terms of how Exhale operates anyway, one of the biggest messages that we want to give back to people is that you are perfect just as you are. That everything about you, your fears, your doubts, your worries, your anxieties, but also your desires, your dreams, what brings you joy, all of that is perfect. And that we don't have to get everything right. We're still okay you can still be a meditation teacher and lose your shit sometimes. You can still shout at your kids, you can still shout at your partner, you can still get frustrated. We spoke about this on Lots of Lies about what meditation does. It gives us a faster comeback rate. And that imperfection actually speaks to and challenges that narrative that exists, particularly for women in society, that we need to try harder, that we need to be more, that we need to do more. All that we ask of our instructors is that they are passionate about self-love, they're passionate about meditation and all of the benefits that meditation brings. We're not asking you to be an expert, we're not asking you to be a guru, we're just asking you to share your experience. How did meditation help you? That's all you need to know. If you know that bit, then you're good to go, because we can teach you the skills. And your journey, just like Gabby's did, like I was explaining before, will evolve and grow as you grow. You know, she was writing her first book and then still learning. You know, she's still on a learning journey. She went off and then she was a life coach, and then she became a yoga teacher, and it became more and more spiritual, but she was still teaching the same message beforehand. So another quick thing that I wanted to talk about was the fear of just being in business to begin with and not having any experience. So just know that when you don't have to have all the answers. The only thing you need to really work on is your mindset. Everything else you can research on Google, or if you join Exhale's teaching community, you will get monthly business Q&As with me. So we look at business development, your goals, your vision, and we look at onboarding clients, how to find clients, how to get leads, how to improve your relationship with your clients so you get more referrals, and all these things that are involved in business. We talk you through all of those. We also have a 5-part self-study video course that you can work your own way through as well. And we have mentors within our instructor training team that can support you. Sometimes in terms of that mindset, it's just watching somebody else go first. You know, sometimes you just need to see that it's possible. And what's really amazing about that is that actually, if you are watching somebody transform before your eyes, if you're watching somebody living out part of your dreams, and they're doing it their way, but you're looking at them thinking, oh gosh, I would love that too. That means that you, because it's in your awareness, it's on your frequency, it's within your own capability. Otherwise, it wouldn't be of any interest to you. The universe shows you what's possible. Remember that everybody that we interact with is our mirror. So when we look at somebody else and we think, oh wow, gosh, they were so brave that they did that they took that step. Just know that the strength that you see in them is just a reflection of your own strength. It's such a powerful thing to remember. You know, like we get so het up on feeling left behind and looking at all our peers, if you like, or people that are, I don't know what the next level is, but our mentors, for example, and we hold them in this really high regard, and you think, oh my gosh, how are they doing that? I'd love that. But actually, just sitting with that knowledge that that is my mirror, their strength, their courage, their bravery is simply a reflection of my own, allows me to take consistent action walking alongside them. So they set the journey, they show me the footsteps, the route, the shortcuts to take. And then I just got to watch my own mindset and know that and believe that it's possible. Because my mindset, everything in life begins with a thought. So my thoughts influences my feelings and my emotions, which then influences my behaviour and the action that I do or do not take. So again, to go back to my point, you choose you in every moment of every day. Am I making decisions which I can be proud of here? Am I making decisions which put me in a position where I can look at my friends and my family and say, look, this is what is possible. You know, what a legacy to leave. But you know what? I went for that. I had a dream and I went for it. So, in terms of the fear around money, specifically related to training with Exhale, remember that we now have an extended payment plan. So we have two payment plans available. We have a plan which is 6 instalments of 167, or we now have 10 instalments of £99. And when you think about it in the grand scheme of things of starting a business, this is such a low start cost. And what actually happens is that people qualify and start teaching, start recouping that money before, whilst they're still paying their training. So it's actually, you can start to see the return on investment really, really quickly. Something that people speak to me a lot about in terms of what's holding them back from booking with Excel in particular is that they think that, oh, maybe there are too many teachers or there's another teacher in my locality. And what is really important to remember is that actually, if there is somebody else, and maybe they don't work at Excel, maybe they're just another type of meditation teacher or yoga teacher or whatever it is, if you're looking at people in your area and thinking, oh my gosh, there's loads of competition, actually, it's an amazing place to be. If you speak to any kind of business mentor, they will tell you exactly the same thing, that is evidence that there is a market for it. And what's really quite cool and actually is massively time saving and money saving is that actually when somebody else is marketing a product which is similar to yours, for example, meditation or mindfulness, it means that that concept is out in the local community. People are starting to understand your job is easier because they've done some of your marketing for you. Obviously, we never compete on the realms of price. We talk about transformation, and actually, we absolutely believe in the ancient practice of that student-teacher relationship, where we understand and know that when you're teaching anything that is spiritually led, so be that meditation, whether that be a different type of healing, or whether that be yoga, for example, we really believe and come back to time and time again the fact that your students will find you. They are meant to work with you. Meditation is available to everyone. Meditation is perfect and really beneficial for absolutely everybody. But you are not everybody's teacher. So your clients will only ever work to you. There'll be something in your voice, in your language, in your journey, in the way that you show up, your energy, that will bring those clients to you specifically. So you don't actually really need to worry about competition in the way that you might. It's certainly not a crowded marketplace. What sometimes comes up for people because they've been on this journey for a while, looking and thinking about starting for a while, it feels like there are loads of people doing the same thing. But actually, it's just because of the way that our brain works again. So it's just understanding the brain. The brain tells us actually when we tell it we have a set intention, the brain searches for evidence to back up that intention. So whatever you choose to focus on and whatever you choose to be interested in that moment, your brain does a really good job of noticing. So people quite often use the analogy of, if you're thinking about buying a red car, specific brand of car, no doubt the next time you go out on a journey, you will see loads of that car. They were always there. It's just your brain now is more aware and open and actively seeking and looking for it. In terms of there being too many Excel instructors, there can never be too many Excel instructors. One of the things that we really encourage in our instructors is you find a niche. And actually, that is relevant and a really important business tip, whatever your training provider is, whatever method of meditation you're about to teach, make sure that you niche it down. Make sure that you are thinking about, right, who do I want to work with? How do I want to work with them? And what is the transformation? Out of all of the hundreds of thousands of transformations and benefits of meditation, what is the one that I'm going to be known for? What's the one solution to a problem that I'm going to be known for? So that way it takes away a lot of, you've established yourself, you've given yourself a unique selling point, you took away the competition just by really owning who you are and standing in your power and owning your joy, owning your own journey. Usually our instructors teach that meditation can bring about the specific transformation that they saw in themselves. So whatever meditation helps them with personally, so for me, it's about that sense of connection and self-love and help me with my anxiety. Those are the things that I really focus on helping other people to achieve as well with meditation. It's the same for our instructors. So we really own our own journeys, and that's really beautiful as well, because it's also really healing for yourself when you start to be able to look back at your journey and say, actually, if I hadn't have gone through what I've gone through, I wouldn't be in this position right now. The other thing that I always say is that we're all about collaboration and not competition. So that takes away all of the fear. So if that you are, whether you're an Excel instructor or not, whether you're thinking about becoming one of somebody in your local area already, or whether you are a meditation teacher, you're going to go it alone, which is absolutely fine. Remember that this week is all about you deciding that you want to take action and become a meditation instructor. Alongside of that, I'm really passionate about working with instructors that feel like they're really aligned with our brand. They love what we stand for. They can see themselves in me and in the other instructors. They really get on board with our branding, our values, everything that we stand for. We work really hard to give our instructors exactly what they need. But if that is not you, there's going to be no coercion. There's going to be no bad feeling. You don't have to come and work with us. But what I really want you to do is think about, when you look at the other people that are operating in a similar ilk or in a similar area to you, thinking about taking away that sense of competition by aligning with that person, networking with that person, working out ways that if they're open to it, you can collaborate with that person as well. So that takes away a lot of the fear, but also remembering that there are so many millions of people in this world that there are more than enough clients for everybody, and that we don't need to grab and scramble. Remember, that you have to put the work in, you have to do the action. There are certain marketing strategies and tips that absolutely, if you don't do that kind of work, they're not going to magically appear. It's a bit like I was saying before, nobody's going to come down and say from above, now is your time to become a successful meditation instructor. There are set strategies and action points that you need to take yourself. But there are more than enough people that will find you. You're putting your message out there, you're visible, you're showing up, you're teaching, even if it is just one person. Remember that every single, and I put some books in the Facebook group this morning, but every single book that I read about spirituality, about business, about entrepreneurship, about marketing, all of them say the same thing. This is not necessarily, and it does happen, going to be an overnight success. Gabby started her workshops with 2 people in them. Sometimes no one would turn up and she'd have to beg someone to come and sit in her workshops. But what was really striking and what was recorded with me is that she showed up anyway. Her energy was of service. Her energy was, yes, okay, I want to make a living. I deserve to be divinely compensated for my work. If it's good, the caveat to all this is you have to be a good meditation teacher. If you come to Exhale training, we obviously make that our job. That's my passion in life, is to make sure that you are super good at what you do, so that is never going to be an issue, and obviously so we can serve the wider community. But she just kept showing up, kept learning, kept growing, kept doing the work, but she never once looked back on her journey and felt like she shouldn't have took those twists and turns. We never in life regret the things that we did. Predominantly, when you talk to anyone who's lost anybody or anybody that spoke to anyone near the end of life, they always say this, oh, someone who's really old. They always say the same thing, that I wish I'd done this. I wish I'd followed through on that dream. I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd done the other. It's very, very rare that you meet someone that says the biggest mistake was doing that thing, unless it's something that isn't in alignment with your values. So that's what's really important to get clear, is thinking about what is the most important thing to you and making that your priority. So for when I started my meditation business, it was, I'd got to a point with my work, yes, on the surface, it sounds like a really fulfilling role. I was a teacher, and I loved working with the students. I loved the light bulb moments when they finally got something we'd been working on for ages. But actually, it was taking away. I was dropping and Emma spoke about this yesterday, one of our instructors. She spoke about, and I speak about now, dropping my child off at nurseries. He was the first one there, and he was the last one to be picked up. I was spending more time with other people's children, fulfilling somebody else's business, growing somebody else's business. Essentially, I was working in education, but it's still a business. When I was working cabin crew, I was still fulfilling somebody else's dream. I was denying my own dreams and goals, and I was feeding somebody else's business. So it got to a point where I was like, where am I in all of this? What is more important to me? I'd rather take a job that meant that I felt more aligned with who I was always meant to be. It felt like just an extension of who I was. So now I come on here and I get to train people all day, I get to chat to people all day. It feels joyful, uplifting, energizing, because it's in complete alignment with who I am. Even the music we use, all of that, it's just an extension of me. So I've got to that point where it's like, where am I? And also, what message am I sending to my child? That it's okay to be in complete misalignment with who I am, to deny my desires, to deny that calling within me. So I speak a lot about one of my biggest motivators is so that I'm able to look at my child and say, do you know what? I had a dream and I went for it. So that when he says, this is my dream, mummy, and as a mum or as a parent or as a caregiver, all you want to be able to say to that child is, you go for it. You go for it, And we get scared for them, we worry about them, we worry if they fall, but we let them fly. We want them to fly, we want them to go for it and support them 100%. This is about backing yourself. So I got to that point where I'd handed in my notice about 6 times, and I was like, finally, I'm choosing me. I'm choosing my dreams. I'm choosing to leave my legacy. I'm choosing to be able to look at my child and say, yes, you can go for it, and you should go for it, because I'm doing it too. So I know that when I say that to him, he believes me because he sees me living it. So yes, it's going to be ups and downs. If you again, I think with business, we think it's going to be this straight trajectory that kind of goes like that, but actually, emotionally at least, we're up and down like this. But each time our bounce back rate is quicker. It's a learning journey. You don't have to have all the answers, but if you do come to Exhale, we do support you all the way through that journey as well. The last thing that people have been saying to me actually that is causing them a little bit of resistance, or they're wondering about, is the licensing agreement that we have with our instructors. And all that really is it gives you an opportunity to save time and to save money. So what we do with our licensing is that when you sign up for our training, you get a year's worth of license to teach Exhale classes, to use our graphics, to use our website to advertise your classes, to use our playlists that are done for you already, to piggyback on our credibility, our brand name. We work with lots of festivals when we can go to festivals. We work with loads of big corporate clients. We invite our instructors into those experiences with us. So when we went and did Fern Cotton's festival at Tatton Park, before the world got all crazy, I had 3 instructors come with me, and we had an amazing experience. So we got access to the festival for the entire weekend. And all we had to do was I had to go and teach 2 classes, which sold out, which was amazing. The energy was just incredible. And then also we had to go and teach 2 kids classes, and the rest of the time we were free. So we were drinking kombucha, we were trying all the things, we were having our face painted. So when you come and join Exhale, you're also joining the community. We are planning retreats, we are planning an Ibiza retreat. Instructors don't know about that yet. That is something that is going to be happening. We have meetups. Next week, for example, we are having our Word of the Year celebration, and that's when we are going to pick how we, instead of picking goals, instead of New Year's resolutions, we are working towards picking our Word of the Year. So it's how we want to show up. So last year, my word was grace. The year before that was velvet. So it was all about luxurious experiences and depth and smoothness and ease, but also kind of that sense of luxury, I suppose. So we're going to do that next week. So it's all about, it's not just about the practicalities, it's also about the community and the level of support that you get when you join Exhale. And it makes the whole thing so much less scary because we have a whole group of cheerleaders that have always got your back. Like I said right at the beginning, I've had instructors join me all week, and that is because they enjoy talking about our brand, they enjoy what we do, and they buy into the vision that we have. My baby becomes your baby, essentially. So it takes away a lot of the fear. But obviously, the biggest thing that I should say on this live, which is all about fear, is that step out of the fear through meditation. So quite often, even as meditation instructors, we forget about our own practice, and it'd be the same if you're a yoga teacher. I know this to be true, that we spend so much time teaching and leading and supporting other people in their practice that we sometimes forget about ourselves. That's the other powerful thing about joining Exhale, actually, I should say, is that there's that whole community of instructors that you can jump onto their classes for free, usually. So you are able to nourish your own practice as well, but you also have that accountability of going through our 21-day meditation experience as well, which we are relaunching for all instructors next week. So even though they've been through it before, the instructors that are currently on our books are going to go through that again if they wish. So the biggest way to overcome fear is to sit alongside it. Meditation teaches us to sit alongside our thoughts, and that we don't have to become them. I might feel angry, for example, but I don't have to be anger. I'm allowed to experience fear, and knowing actually how the body works, and knowing that fear, if you think about it in terms of that fluttering in the stomach, the racing heart, the racing breath rate, it's actually exactly the same physiology as what you would experience if you were excited. So it's just the label that we give it and the way that we choose to interact with it. So I can just now notice how my body's feeling, knowing that meditation helps us with our ABCs. So our ability to pay attention to our own awareness of how our body's feeling helps us then to bring balance back to ourselves, take a breath before we break down or before we burn out. And the C of meditation and mindfulness is about working from that place of calm, which brings us clarity, creativity, courage, and confidence. So all we need to do when we experience those bodily sensations of fear is not label them, is to catch them, be aware that is existing within my body. Rather than labeling it as fear or anything at all, I'm just going to sit alongside it. I'm going to take a breath, which is going to allow me to press the reset button, which allows me then, breath is the gateway to the soul. It allows me to reconnect with my soul's purpose. It allows me to reconnect with my soul's knowing that I am a powerful force for good and force for change in this world. If that resonates, please do let me know. Ultimately, every problem in the world can be solved by meditation. So I've gone all the way around the houses. This should have been a 2-second live, but all you need to do is meditate, learn to meditate. So please, please, please know that if anybody is at all feeling the call to start their own meditation business or practice, whether that be working with us as a brand, with us in your corner or not, please do drop me a message, drop me an email. If you go onto our page where you get all the details for our training program, there are so many buttons on there that say book a call. Just book a chat with me. I can't stress that enough, that I am all about having conversations, getting to know our instructors before they come on board. So sometimes people just know in their guts that this is right for them. I've had a fair few people like that. They press the button, they're in, you know. But most of the time, we need a little bit of a chat. We need to get to know each other so that you know in your own heart that this is the right thing. The other thing that I'll finish with is saying that our feeling brain, which is the tummy, knows way, and our heart knows way before our thinking brain what is right for us. So trust your gut, trust your instincts, then get the evidence to support it. Watch these videos, have a chat with me, have a look at the sales page with all the details. Talk to instructors. There are so many instructors in our group that are waiting and willing to talk to you about their honest experiences. We don't make any guarantees in terms of success because it's all about you choosing yourself. It's all about you taking the action. It's also about circumstance in terms of where you're at. But just know that we will give you, if you're willing and ready to go for this, we've absolutely got your back, and it'd be amazing to have you on our team. What I'm going to do this evening, because my boyfriend's decided, well, probably the vast majority of male population are watching Manchester United play this evening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on at around 8 o'clock, and I'm going to do a virtual open evening for anybody that wants to jump on live and ask me questions about our training specifically. I'm also going to be showing you the training platform, if the technology works. I'm going to be showing you parts of the manual. I'm going to be showing you how it all works, but also, as I say, just like you would if you were going to go to college, you'd go and view the college first, right? You'd go and have a look at the textbooks, you'd go and have a feel for it. That's what I'm going to do for you tonight. So it's a bit last minute, so I've not had chance to prep in terms of advertising it. So please do share with people who think they'd be at all interested. It's your opportunity to ask. No pressure. Just be on Facebook Live. All your questions that you might have. So, thank you so much for joining me. I thought this would be a really short live. Chloe is saying, Happy Place was amazing. So that was Fern Cotton's Festival. It absolutely was. Everything we did wasn't even last year. It was 2019. Can you believe it? It was amazing. Really, really enjoyed that year in particular. It was such a big year for our business. And actually, it was everything that was like on my vision board was suddenly unfolding before my eyes in that year. So, such an amazing time. Thank you for those of you who joined me. Like I say, like, share, let me know if it resonates, and I will see you all later. If you are bored by the football and you want some company, you want to grab a brew and have a chat, please do join me. I'll send out some emails as well. Don't forget, I've got our masterclass, which I'm so excited about. The feedback is awesome, actually, in terms of this masterclass. People are so excited. We do have limited spaces to experience it live, and that's where the real magic is going to be. I think there's something really powerful about showing up to something live. So join me if you can. Open to everybody, instructors, people that have already enrolled in the training, and also people that are interested, people that are just interested in exhale specifically, but also people that are just interested in meditation. Come and join. It's a fully immersive experience. So there'll be lots of visual imagery. There will be music. I'll be using incense and oils and crystals. So you'll be able, and obviously there'll be heart opening, beautiful meditation as well. Really, really powerful technique that we've recently integrated into our sessions. You will be learning that as well. So I'm going to go because I do ramble on, and I think my car that had a dent in it has been fixed by magic whilst I've been live, which means the boyfriend's paid me, which is awesome. I will speak to you all later. Have a good day. Thank you for joining me.